Hey everybody, it's Ron Bass. Yep, that's me. With another edition of, guess what? The Ron Bass Show.
Yeah.
It's your source for inspiration, encouragement, motivation, dry humor. Lots of dry humor.
Sometimes.
Mr. Brent Atterbury.
Top of the day.
Top of the day. What are we going to talk about today?
Watermelons.
Ooh.
They're in season right now and they are good.
Speaking of,
They have some sugar babies right down the road here on
I saw that.
on Glenstone.
My friend brought me a whole cantaloupe the other day from that place.
Yeah.
And it was delicious.
Yeah.
Or as they say in Espanol, delicio.
Yeah, nature's candy.
Nature's candy, yeah. You know what? I've gotten really into bananas the last year. Bananas and peanut butter. Yep. I know it sounds sexy, but here's the deal.
Does it really?
I'm being facetious.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot better than eating,
Junk.
junk food and food with high cholesterol and food with grease, and plus when you eat it, you get full quicker, and you're not hungry, and you don't gain the weight.
Yeah.
So that's my suggestion to anybody out there trying to lose weight. Go to peanut butter and bananas.
You know what the official name for a banana is?
What?
Genus Musa.
What?
Yeah.
What does that mean, genus Musa?
Banana.
What language is that?
I don't know.
Where'd you come up with that?
Out of a book I read my
gosh.
grandkids.
Never heard of that. A lot of things I guess I've never heard of. Look, guys, I want to talk a little bit about self-image, self-esteem. I want to talk a little bit about when you don't feel good, what do people do? Well, people reach for anything that makes them feel better, right? So that's where the whole drug and alcohol thing came from. And what's really weird about drugs, alcohol, smoking is that, when you're young, you're so vulnerable. You just don't know any better. And so somebody offers you a cigarette or marijuana or cocaine or alcohol, and the next thing you know, when you're 12, 13, 15, 16 years old, that's what I was doing it. Next thing you know, you're addicted, right? You don't even realize it because at that age, you're not mature enough to recognize all that stuff. But then as you get a little older, you realize, this is not going well. It's not going very well. I've got money problems now. I'm not getting along with people. I wake up, I'm depressed. I got to smoke a cigarette. I've got to smoke a joint. I've got to snort some cocaine. And the cycle just gets worse and worse and worse. So that's why we talk about the gym to replace all of that. And really and truthfully, as simple as it does sound, it's how I got off of all that. And I saw an article yesterday on YouTube about one of our United States senators died the other day from what they call a cardiac dissection or something like that. Basically, where the blood, the artery tears, I guess, and then the blood goes the wrong direction, and so then the heart starves for blood and you die. So he was saying that the two biggest risk factors for these kinds of heart issues is high blood pressure and smoking and vaping. Vaping and smoking kind of go hand in glove. So, when you're young, you don't think about heart problems, right? But when you get 40, 50, 60, man, it's killing people every day. So if you smoke and you vape and you're 30 or 40 years old, you really need to think about figuring out that this is not probably good for you and your future is in jeopardy. You got to quit that stuff, man. I did it. Talk about it all the time when I was 31, I think. And it wasn't easy. It's not going to be easy. But whatever you got to do, man, you got to drop it. Because the only way to really feel good is to do all the right stuff. Set your goals, work hard, go to the gym, eat right, rest well. All the basic stuff, right? It's basic things. It's not that complicated. I just wanted to throw that in there because I just saw this article about the heart thing, and they said the two biggest risk factors is blood pressure and smoking. Specifically, he said smoking. This is a cardiac surgeon, so I trust his judgment. This is a guy that does surgeries every day and works on the heart and the arteries. And
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
No, I agree with you 1,000,000%.
Smoking is just, man, if you don't do anything else in your life, man, quit smoking.
Well, and sometimes you don't get a warning to go in and fix it and correct it. Sometimes it happens. The heart attack happens once, and you don't come back from it.
That's it. So I'm not saying that life's perfect and you can do everything right and still not have trouble, but why improve those odds? You can decrease those odds of having a heart attack if you just don't smoke and you get your blood pressure checked and correct it through exercise and maybe through medication. When I was younger, I used to really look down on medications because I had a thyroid issue and I didn't want to take the thyroid medication. I thought, I'm better than that, I'm stronger than that, I'm whatever. But the reality is, sometimes, the body, I don't care if you're fit or not fit, things don't go well, and if you've got medication available, take it, because it's just going to make your life better and it's going to prolong your life. So just throwing that out there. Speaking of medical stuff, one of my friends at the gym and I were talking today. This gal's been through it, man. She's probably in her 50s, really attractive gal, super fit gal, got cancer. And when she got cancer, she also had another devastating experience. She went through a divorce. So here she is, 50-some years old. Everything was going wonderful. The next thing you know, she's fighting cancer, going through a horrible divorce. And we talked about it today. And she got off track. She quit going to the gym for 2 years. And she gained quite a bit of weight. So we just talked very candidly about this. So the bottom line is, she got back on track, and now she's going to the gym every day, and she's got cancer in remission, and she's losing the weight, and she's feeling better about herself. But the problem is that she's with a new boyfriend who's very negative, and he's putting her down, and he's trying to convince her not to go to the gym. I said, hey, I don't care how important it is that you don't want to be alone, or how important it is that you care about this guy. You cannot be around that kind of negative influence. You have to put yourself first, work on yourself first, and everything else has to be second. Because if you're not well mentally and physically, nothing's going to matter. You can't help anybody, let alone yourself. So we had a long discussion about this, and she was, almost in tears because she was telling me how this guy really helped her through her cancer treatment, but now he's being super negative, super possessive, all that kind of stuff. And I said, hey, this is not going to good. That's not good for you. You can't be around people like that, or at least tell the guy he's going to have to either, change his ways or you're out. Life's too short to be miserable like that, guys. You cannot let people intimidate you that way. You have to be number one. Okay, if it wasn't so sad, this would be a funny story. So the other day I went on a service call. The guy says, hey, my refrigerator's not working properly, so I knock on his door, and first thing he says was, it's a little tight in here. This is about how he said it. It's a little tight in here. I thought, oh, wow. When I opened up the door, I could barely get in.
Oh.
The guy's a hoarder. So if you don't know what hoarding is, it's the obsession of not wanting to throw anything away. And I mean, the pathway from the front of the house to the kitchen I literally had to turn sideways to maneuver through the living room, through the dining room, into the kitchen. And I mean, it was just stacked to the ceiling with, you name it, it was in there. Books and food and trash and wow. And I got to the refrigerator and I barely was able to pull it out from the wall to check to see if the compressor was running and so forth and so on. And it turns out that basically is low on Freon, so it just wasn't going to be up to speed, and the compressor wasn't pumping very good. So in the end, he's going to buy another refrigerator, but I didn't even want to charge the guy for a service call. I felt so sorry for him. But if you looked at him and talked to him, he seemed perfectly normal, but he's not normal. That's a real personality disorder.
Yeah.
I don't know the real name for it, but it's a problem, and it's unhealthy, and it's not sanitary.
Yeah.
But I say that to say this, guys. If you know anybody that's struggling with hoarding, get them to a counselor, get them to a psychiatrist, convince them to go in. There's medications for it, there's counseling for it. It's just no way to live. You can't live like that. It's just not conducive to being a successful person. Well, I thought you were
I
gonna say
agree.
something.
No. Yeah, I actually don't know anyone that is a hoarder.
You don't?
No.
I run into this quite often in my life with either customers or
I can see
friends.
you going into houses all the time. See, I don't, so I don't see it. My daughter doesn't throw anything away, but I mean, it's all stacked in the garage. But
is that what it is? Yeah. Well, there's different degrees of hoarding, but I mean, in this case, it was obviously an extreme.
Yeah.
I've seen documentaries on this. It's just really, it's sad. Mm-hmm. It's sad that people have this kind of problem. And you wouldn't think about it.
No.
Because when you see them on the street, you don't see that.
Yeah.
But when you go into their home, it's, oh my gosh. And we think we got problems. At any rate. Okay, I want to talk a little bit more about self-worth. I don't want you guys to base your self-worth on one thing. Like some people, like I was thinking about in the gym today, like bodybuilders, their whole self-worth is based on, I shouldn't say all of them, but a lot of them, based on their appearance. Well, what happens when you lose your appearance through illness or sickness or accident or something? Age. Now what? Or fighters. I see this a lot with fighters. Like everything's based on their fighting skill and their success in the ring or in the cage. And then what happens when they get older? What happens when they start losing? What happens when they have an illness? What happens when they lose their drive? Now all of a sudden they're in the dump. They're in the dumpster, right? Their self-worth is, in the dumpster. And that's, so what I'm getting at is base your self-worth on a lot of things. Base it on your successes in life, not just one thing. Many different goals that you've set, all the hard work that you're putting in to accomplish your goals. Whether you win or lose, at least you're putting in the work every day. That's what really matters in your life. It's not how much money you have, how good looking you are, how successful you are in your trade. It's about your determination and your effort to not give up on what's important to you. And yes, if you have the goal to be a world champion bodybuilder or world-class fighter, that's fine. But as you get older and things happen, you have to adapt. Maybe you convert over into coaching.
Yeah.
And you can't put all your self-worth on one thing. It's just not healthy, in my opinion. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Okay, one more thing, and I'm going to turn it over to you, sir.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome possum. So I have one more story about a friend of mine. This one's so sad it'd be funny. This guy weighs about 275 pounds, and he's like 100 pounds overweight. But he's very strong, and he's a wrestler. So he was drinking with his buddies the other night, and he was doing handstands. And then he was walking on his hands. Well, too much weight, and his arm collapsed, and his bone came right out to his forearm. So basically
compound fracture.
Yeah, broke his arm, right? And I say that to say this. I've been knowing this guy for years, and he's always telling me, I'm in the gym, I'm working out, I'm losing my weight. But obviously, that's not been what's happening. And he's young. So there again, when you're young, 20, 30 years old, you don't think about stuff like the consequences, right? But as you get older, it gets harder and harder and harder and harder and harder. So the best thing you guys can do, and I notice on our demographics, a lot of our listeners, most of our listeners are between 25 and say 55. We have quite a few people even in their teens and in their early 20s listening, and I appreciate that, or watching anyway on YouTube. I don't have our statistics on Spotify, just on YouTube. So bottom line is he's going to have to be laid up for a couple of months now. And I say that to say this. If you make a decision to improve yourself, you got to stay the course, man. There's no easy way around getting your diet right, getting your workouts right, getting your rest right, getting rid of your bad habits. I know it sounds like I'm being like almost an old fuddy-duddy or something, but I'm telling you guys this because I know from my own personal experience how important it is, because I've been through all this. But then these examples that I like to share with you are just more examples to prove my point. At any rate, I'll turn it over to you, sir. What do you got to say?
Well, there was this lady. Her name's Kelsey Findler. She was a rafting guide in Colorado for like 8 years, and she decided to take on the world record for being the youngest and the fastest person to get in a rowboat and row from California to Hawaii.
Wow, how far is that?
It's 2,400 miles.
2,400 miles.
Yes. And
I don't know how you do that.
She was in a 21-foot rowboat. It took her a month and a half at sea.
How is that even possible?
I don't know. You're
talking about like row.
Yes,
boat,
yes.
gently?
We're talking row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, life is but a dream.
Yeah.
Stream.
Life is but a stream.
Oh, okay. Well, back to the story.
Yeah.
So the previous record, she did it in under 44 days. The previous record was 86 days by a female.
Wow.
So she broke it, and she talks about, she did video diaries and talks about survival on the ocean, blistered hands, a struggle to sleep among stiff winds, the mental and physical
Talking
struggle.
about fit, though. She must have been extremely fit.
She talks about how she cooked, protected her skin from the sun, washed her clothes, made her fresh water.
In a rowboat.
Yes. And then I got to read this last part.
That is some kind of accomplishment. Wow.
It said, if any part of this made at least one person feel a little bit more powerful in their own skin, I couldn't ask for anything else, and I'm happy. Think about trying to find your own big, hard, scary thing. You might not think you are strong enough to finish it right now, but you're definitely strong enough to start it, and you'll find everything else along the way.
I love it. That's great, man.
It says, I'm going to go finish my big, hard, scary thing.
What a story.
It's what you talk about all the time. Not rowing your boat, but...
No, but the idea of setting the goal and working towards it regardless of how hard it is.
Yep. So,
no matter if everybody else thinks you're crazy, do it because it's important to you.
That's right. And then, remember last week we talked about the dude that ate all the hot dogs?
Yeah.
Man, that was like my breaking news story. Well, guess what? Today is National Hot Dog Day.
Okay.
Yeah. National Hot Dog Day. It's also National Give Something Away Day.
Oh, okay.
National Gummy Worm Day.
Okay.
And National Tapioca Pudding Day.
Wow.
There you have it.
Talk about giving something away day. So they say the truest form of giving, I've talked about this before, is giving anonymously. Mm-hmm. So when you give something, guys, you shouldn't be giving it to expect something in return. That's the bottom line. Do it because you want to help somebody. And do it without wanting any recognition. That's the truest form of, the highest form, the purest form of giving.
Maybe the hoarders should give something away day.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's really a sad deal.
Not making fun of it, just saying.
It's really, really sad. And I guarantee you, somebody out there listening today is a hoarder. Yep. And they know what a struggle it is because they don't want to live like that, but they have to. They feel compelled to do that. That's just part of the obsession. We should study that a little bit more. I need to study that and find out more about why people are that way, or maybe they're born that way. I think genetics, is a big part of everything in life. If you're born, with schizophrenia, if you're born with depression, if you're born with alcoholism genes and addiction gene and genes and so forth, it's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Sometimes I think we sweep things under the carpet too quick, like, oh, that person, they shouldn't be doing that. They know better than that. Well, maybe they can't help it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's too hard to get out of that loop. When they say 1 out of 10 people may be able to beat addiction. I've got another friend that's lost 100 pounds, but he's stuck now. He's got 100 to go, but the last few months, and he's taking a shot every week. Why aren't you losing weight? Eating too much? Not exercising enough? Or is it genetics? Maybe it's just one of those things where no matter how hard you try, it's just not going to work very quick. And everybody wants it right now. Everybody wants to be successful right away. But guys, I hate to tell you this, success isn't that easy. It's not supposed to be easy, right?
No.
And I often
it's easy, everybody to do it.
I often tell the story that I have failed a lot more than I've succeeded in my career, but I have succeeded too. So you just have to take the long-term approach about everything in life, man. It's just the way it is. So just remember, if you don't give up, eventually the stars are going to line up. I don't know when, I don't know how quick, but I guarantee you, if you work hard and you stay determined and you surround yourself with good people, sooner or later, something really good is going to start to happen. And when that happens, you have to kind of grab a hold of it and run with that. Like, don't just like say, oh, this is great. No, you need to massage that and work with that, whatever that formula is that you've got going, and run with it for a while. And then get better at that and become more efficient with what's working that's good for you, right? So until that time comes, and even after that time comes, just remember, the most important thing to be and to stay every single day is to be positive.